Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Kim Jacobs Show. Oh my goodness, we're getting ready to get ready, because we are getting ready to have a good discussion with men. I would say black men, because they're black men, but then also they are actually, I'm sorry, I put you on, Courtney, but you can drink water the whole show. So that's good. So guess what, guys? We're going to be talking to these African American men that are on and how to achieve it. So some of today's questions we're going to go more in detail and enjoy this hour together. Not from trying to be some radical out of the box type of situation, but just trying to provide insight from the perspective of African American men. And my brother Javon Jackson put this panel together, and as the lead panelist, he's the one that coordinates all of the different people that are on today. And we're going to jump right in with me introducing some of the ones that are here. You have James Edwards. He's a father and he is an entrepreneur. Welcome, James.
Well, how you doing?
And yes. You have Tyrone Carter. He's two-time in all of his endeavors and achievements, and that's All-American, NFL Super Bowl champion, twice over, all this stuff. So you get to know a lot more about Tyrone Carter today. And then you also have Courtney Jacobs, my brother, who is on, and he's a father, husband, owner of and founder of Courtney Wellness Companion. And actually this month they've been doing a whole 30-day trial thing free for people in the community. And Courtney's lost like over 90 pounds or some crazy amount of weight, no surgery. So you definitely want to check him out too. And I'm going to pop my brother in, but I know he might say, wait, Kim, because he's forever giving me he'd be like this. So as we get started, because I don't want to miss a moment, I want to go ahead and give everyone a chance to grab your virtual seats. Make sure you share today's broadcast with your friends, your family, your coworkers, everybody that's on as well. If you have a different device, share it from my Facebook page to your friends and your family. I'd like to say happy birthday to my mom. Today is her birthday, and you all grabbing your virtual seats. Happy birthday to my mom. And also today is Gabriel Michael Jacobs Day. Mayor in Charlotte last year authorized and proclaimed that today, August 10th, is officially Gabriel Michael Jacobs Day. And I'd like to thank Dr. Mildred Somerville, because at the play, Spare the Rod, Spoil the Child, she made sure that that was included, that Gabriel Michael Jacobs Day is today, August 10th. And so I'm very honored to be able to let you all know that. You'll see posts out today on how you can further support Gabe's Heart Foundation. If you already do it, great. If you don't do it, please consider doing it and becoming a partner with Gabe's Heart. And if you've already done it in the past, your donation has already been given as a random act of kindness. So definitely give again, because it definitely blesses random people in the community, and they are blessed by your donations. Okay. So as we go ahead and jump right in, let's see some people. Good morning. And I'm going to just pop your comments in throughout the broadcast, because it's hard to wait until the end. Allison Ski said, good morning, Kings and Lady Kim Jacobs. How are you, Allison? All right. And you guys can chime in on anything that people say. We're going to go ahead and jump right in and ask some of the questions that we have today and give you all a chance to start answering them. And first question is, what are the necessary steps to reconstruct the self-image of African American men? And let's start with whoever, if anybody wants to tackle it, just kind of go like we're in class, so I'll know you're going to be the one talking. What are the necessary steps
I step in there
to reconstruct the self-image? Go ahead, James.
Well, I think it's a lot of steps. I think it's a lot of steps need to be taken, but the first is going to be family, and what you teaching your family and what you allow your family to, I guess, see and perceive, and making sure you talk to your family and let them know what's going on in the world and what you expect of them. Because a lot of times, like I said before, we go in the world and not know what is expected of us or what we supposed to do or how we supposed to contribute. We just supposed to contribute. So I just think the family base going to be the foundation of everything first, on that note.
Very good. So everything starts with the root, which is the family. If you can get the family straight, then everything else will kind of start falling into place as hearing you say. Good. Very good.
And let, go ahead.
Tyrone?
Go ahead.
James, I commend you, young fella,
No.
about.
I was gonna say, let
I
family
commend
know
you,
that
James, for what
that you got more than just an immediate family.
Correct.
Huh?
Is it James or me?
Okay, go ahead, Tyrone.
James, man, I commend you for starting with the first thing, saying the
You,
family.
Tyrone, TZ.
Do y'all hear me? Y'all hear me?
Yes.
Okay, James.
Yeah.
We hear you.
I want to commend you, young fella, for saying family, because that's where it got to start, with our family first. And when you say kings got to step up to the plate now, because George Ford said mama. When he said mama, they had to let us know that we got to do our part too. Taking care of our kids, educating our kids, letting them know how to be respectful and understand what love is. And the main thing to me is getting out, educating our family about voting, going to those meetings, getting outside of our box of what we say in our home. I have a problem with, I'm saying my home is good, but outside my home is not. Now, we about the community, right? I can have a good home, and if my community ain't right, I got to get out there to get my community on the same page. And that's the difference that we need to have in the African-American community, where we come to close together like this. So you can have your house in order, but what good is that if outside your community not in order?
That's right. That's right.
Mm.
Very good point. So you said, so we can have our home life in order, and everybody that's in the studio audience, you should be sharing this broadcast, because we're having some in-depth discussion with some African-American men talking about what it takes to be able to redeem the Black man. And part of what I'm
I think your thing going slow. I don't know what that is.
hearing is in that trying to figure. Okay, all right. So I see. I need Frankie. I need help. Okay. So let's see.
You was
Here.
freezing when you were just talking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Huh? It was free. Okay. So we're gonna go back and say it again. Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Yes, we can hear you now.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'm in a whole
Yeah, I can hear you.
different again. Just start circling. See. So should I put both on? That's gonna make it worse. Okay. Let me see. Let me try it.
I think that was Javon came in here and messed you up, Queen.
Javon, hey, how are you?
Javon Lake just came in there and
On the
messed you up.
scene.
He tried to get you one of them.
My brother
Hey,
just
where you
came
been?
in.
Where you
Welcome.
been,
How
King?
everybody doing?
Hey,
Hey,
Ty,
make sure
he made an
you know that
entrance,
we're
right?
answering right now the question of what it takes to reconstruct the image of the Black man. So James has answered and TC has answered. And so far the answers have been, I see you too, DJ Finesse, but you have to allow your camera to be shown so that I can pull you in. I think you can hear me, but let me just type that too. DJ Finesse, allow your camera. Okay, and then you'll be able to come on in. If I'm lagging, y'all let me know, okay? Because I don't know.
Okay.
So Javon, you want to tackle that, and Courtney's going to tackle that as well. Right now, the answers have been family and how important it is to have your family unit intact. And then also from a community perspective, TC's talked about having extended family and the community be cared for properly, in addition to caring for your family.
Gotcha.
So Courtney, you want to jump in now, and then Jay will jump in.
You know, I really echo what James and what TC said. What I would say is I like to live by this mantra of I believe it was Gandhi who said, "Be the change that you want to see." And I think that applies to all areas. We have to be mindful that this the structure of the black family has not been what we want it to be for many years. So we have to have realistic expectations as well. In my profession and in my passion, I help people to get healthy and get well. And many people come to me to lose 30 pounds that they've gained over the last 10 years, but they want to lose that weight in 10 weeks or 10 days or something crazy like that. So we want to be mindful of the challenges that we've had to face, the adversity, the suppression, oppression, depression, and set realistic expectations, and then just be the change that we want to see. It obviously starts with family, like some of the gentlemen had already mentioned, but just ultimately just be the change that we want to see. We don't like what's going on with the black family. Be the change. Find our beautiful queens and marry them. Wife them. And find go outside of your home, as TC mentioned. Mentor some youth. Throw a football. Go out there and be a father, be an uncle. And just do those things.
That's really good. Really good. Javon and James, mute your mic when you're not talking if possible. Okay, go ahead, Javon.
All right. Well, first of all, thank everybody for coming again on the panel. James, TC, we got Courtney here, and we have a few backstage. Vanessa, I appreciate you guys coming out. Andre as well. So what I wanted to say first and foremost, I got to give a shout out to my mom. Happy birthday, Mom. Love you. That's first and foremost. Mom's made plenty years on the earth, so I'm grateful for that. And as well as I want to give a shout out to my nephew Gabe, because his birthday is upcoming as well. So we never will forget you. We're gonna forever live your legacy for you. So and with you, So I just wanted to say that first and foremost. And then second off, as far as the question, that's a deep question. You guys started off with a heavy one. So
right.
With that being said, I think that the first thing that I would like to address is, since I know these guys have addressed family, community, health, as well as I just heard Courtney addressing that. But I would like to address the fact that we also need to incorporate the economical aspect, as well as the mental health aspect. I'm going to continue to harp on that because we have to reframe our mind, our thinking, and reshape our minds. So with that being said, then we have to, if it's with the perspective of how we're going to heal in the community, then we have to stop subscribing to entertainment, these younger entertainers that are 20, 23 years old. They're trying to find their way. We have to stop saying that people are older at 40 years old when we know we have elders that's 70 plus years old. Those are the elders, and those are they have achieved to be older, and deserve that, as well as just the whole mind frame. We subscribe a lot to money the wrong way. We subscribe to it, and we spend money outside of our community every day. So just with that being said, when we get money, entertainers that have the money, I'm not going to call any names right now, but it's a lot of entertainers right now that can create distribution centers, that can create distribution centers for hip hop tapes, music, clothing, as far as all the Black entrepreneurs. And I have one on today, and we'll come back to this, but I have on King's Mind clothing, King's Mind and Queen's Mind clothing, but we'll come back to that. But that's what I think it really will take, is the fact that we truly need to start spending our dollars in the proper places. And those that have the dollars, we have to reshape the thinking. It's not I have achieved and you get yours. We have to open doors so those that don't have, that have all these great ideas that can just excel our culture beyond, we have to open the doors for that now. One person, I will call one name out, that I think is a great business model that's doing that, Master P. Like right now in the hip hop entertainment industry, just with all the business ideas and teaching his family, especially with Romeo being visible, Lil Romeo being visible, but teaching his kids, the whole business model. And that's what we have to start adapting in our culture, like across the board. We have to start teaching our kids. We have to start teaching our families how to get to this money, and that's the bottom line. So I think that's how we're going to start to heal.
That's really good, really good. And I appreciate those comments, Javon. And I also see over there with TC Carter over there, I see a young man, since you're talking about legacy and being able to pass the baton on properly and teach and train. Tyrone, tell us about who's over there with you in the screen and what that
Well,
legacy means to you.
well, this is my youngest son of 5. His name is Tyree Carter. And what I realized growing up as a fatherless father, it taught me the responsibility of my kids. When I do have them, I'm gonna put them first. I'm gonna educate them and let them know what their daddy got to go through. And I'm not gonna let the system tell me how to dictate my kids and what they should go. I learned from my experience, so what I have accustomed throughout these years, and I understand that education. I found out at 10 years old what the government said family and education was a bunch of BS, because my mama was 22 years old with 5 kids. They didn't educate her to take care of us. What they did is took us all away from her for money. Now, Javon, you said a key thing about money. Well, this country is valued on a profit. When we start changing a profit and talk about a heart, we can see something different. Because no money could pay for a heart that's been lying, a life that's been taken away from here. No money could do that. But when we gonna go back to that old regime where we cared for each other, we looked out for each other, and money didn't even matter. If you didn't have it, I have it. We come together, we gonna make it work. But we want to live on this quote. Well, America say biggest house, nice cars, doing all this stuff, and these kids get enamored by that. They forget about you got to work hard to get that. It don't happen overnight. And that's one of the things I want to teach my kids, as I have been, especially him in my last 2 that's young. I played and got my career. And when I was done, God blessed me with 2 wonderful kids, a girl and a boy. That's my daughter's 14 and my son is 10. I learned from my grandmother, a man would never know a beautiful woman until he take part of raising one. And having my daughter, knowing I was a knucklehead, man, it made me really get involved in my kids' life, their education, teach them that don't be listening to what they saying there. We got to go beyond that. I teach my seed by experience, getting exposed to different things. My son have been to 15 different colleges already. He done got a chance to see so many things that I learned. If we understand, if we give our kids that exposure, it's easy transition for them. But in the school, they don't do that. They teach them curriculum. Who curriculum? Who curriculum? These kids in college can't even write a check, can't even write a letter to you. What curriculum you teaching us? So I want to educate my son and let him know what's out there for him, and he make his own decision on the parameters that I set for him, his morals and his goals. That's the only thing. I only control my son of what he does, what he has control of. That's giving his best effort in anything he do, and don't settle for anything less than that. So while I'm making this walk, this fight for justice and equality, I'm doing it for him and his kids. Well, they told me I won't have no Social Security, and my kids won't have no Social Security. What that matters?
Right.
My grandfather told me a man don't mean nothing with his Social Security. When you put your Social Security number down on there, they gonna tell you all you did all your year from working.
That's right.
Well, how you gonna tell me you take it for me, but I can't have it? That don't make sense to me. So I have to give my kid another resource to learning ways to be entrepreneur. They don't teach our kids to own things. They teach our kids to go to school. You build up, go to school, get all this education. You gonna be in debt for them all these years. They done took away trading schools out of the department, because trading schools you could get paid while you learning your trade, and then you get a job. Well, going to school for education, you got to pay. Build up a rap sheet so much they're gonna owe you all your life. That's slavery in itself. So I'm teaching my son about ownership and owning his own.
Real good. Courtney, did your son want to
Yeah.
say anything? TC, before, wait a minute, Courtney. Did he want to say anything?
Want to say something? You can say something.
I'm good.
You good? Oh, that's
Okay.
a first to have him quiet right now.
Well, I can tell you, you're real good over there with your dad leading and guiding you over there, and giving you some good direction. And we're honored to have you on today's show. So thank you for looking so professional in the background there.
Thank you.
Thank you. You're so well spoken. I whenever you do want to talk, just let your daddy know. I want to go on the Kim Jacobs show and we'll hear you out. How about that?
You want to say that? She's, yeah.
Oh,
Say hey, everybody.
everybody, I want to tell you about why you guys should use your voice for voting. I think you guys should keep using your voice because when you use your voice, you're giving other people around you courage and support to keep using their voice, not just to tell their stories, but to vote for the right person.
Outstanding. So there you have it. Right out of the mouth of babes comes the truth. We have
See, we doing something a little different in Minnesota. We done went to did the marches. We done did all that. But we know the most important thing that can make change is vote. So we've been going out doing voting things, and we going to the homes. We making sure people know where to go vote at. If they ain't registered, where to go get registered to vote. And he's speaking his word because that's what we had to say about why it's important for us to vote.
Awesome. Well, keep letting your voice be heard. And your vote will make a difference too one day, young man. All right. Okay, Courtney.
Yeah, no, I was gonna just say, Jay had brought it up, the financial part of it, and of course TC mentioned the word entrepreneurship, and it's just in my personal opinion and my personal experience, you when you look at the reconstruct of our culture, I always go back to history. You know, when I look at what we've had to go through, it's like a race. You know, you're running let's say a 100-meter dash. Well, it's one thing if everybody starts at the finish line, but if one group of people have to start further back and the other people can start ahead. So now we have to figure out a way to catch up. And I think entrepreneurship, I think that's a great way. And I think the use of technology, like we're using right now, the computer, I think that gives us a chance to level that gap or make that gap closer. So I just think that that's a great opportunity for us. Nobody's going to give us anything. And I read an article somewhere down in North Carolina. They were talking about reparations or something like that. You know, I got to wait to see them write the check. I haven't seen no check, but I don't wait for that. I think it's wise for us to be thinking about entrepreneurship and some of the things that go involved along with that. Like me personally, like I work a full-time job, I work a part-time job, and I'm building a business. It's just what sometimes we have to do, you know, but we're very strong people. I mean, we were out in fields in the hot sun. No other man could do that. So we're very strong people. So It's not a matter of can we do it. Sometimes we have to make a sacrifice. But I think that that entrepreneurship and using technology, that can give us an advantage to kind of close that gap that Jay was talking about as far as entrepreneurship and the financial piece.
That's really good. Some great information is being shared. So everybody, as you're looking to learn more about how to redeem the Black man, or what are some steps that can be taken, these are some great tips that are being shared by these men today. And so DJ Finesse, welcome, and glad you're on. We're talking right now about how to just restore the image of the Black man. What do you think it would take for that to be the case? It's lagging again. Okay.
Well, first off, hello everybody. Good morning. Pardon me for being a little late. I got about 3 different phones. It's all over the place. I think to thine own self be true is first. As far as redemption, when it comes to any individual human being, to thine own self be true. And when you're true to yourself, then everything else can fall into place. You know, and you know, when you're serious about making contributions to yourself, to your family, to your community, it starts within you. What are you willing to do?
That's really good. Really, really good.
Step up.
I mean, y'all have said such. Go ahead, keep on. You can say something else.
That's the bottom line. What are you willing to do? Later for everything that's wrong all around you. Oh, he did that. She did that. What you gonna do about it? As an individual, what role can you play in making?
That's good.
That's the role you can play. Then play the role. Let me see. Come on. Everybody, let's play the role. Everybody who can do what they say they can do. Come on. And let's line it up together. And let's merge it and let's change the world.
Okay. Yeah, it's staticky right now, so we can't really hear everything that you're saying. DJ, maybe I don't know if you have your headphones on, it might come across clear. But to thine own self be true is what his message is, which is awesome. So mute your
He
mic.
might need a mic. He needs mute.
Can.
Yeah.
I'm trying to merge you into the car. I'm listening to y'all though.
Mute your mic if you can, DJ Finesse.
Yeah, my microphone.
Okay, did the static go away, guys, just now? Okay.
So bear with me for a second.
Okay, I'll put you back in shortly, okay? Once you get it organized. All right, so the next question is, how can you move forward to gain unity in a healthy manner? So again, anyone can tackle the question, but how do we move forward in a healthy manner in unity?
Okay, well, I think with that being said, the first thing is the key word is healthy. With that being said, we have to figure out how can we stop attacking each other. How can we gently approach this mental health issue that all of us are dealing with as a culture, and start
Say
to
that one
relearn.
part one more time because it's stuck a little bit.
It got stuck a little bit. Okay. I was saying we could gently learn how to deal with each other mental issues that we all have as a culture. It's something that's broad across the scope, and we have to deal with it right now. And I think that can lead us into the relearning that is necessary for us to take the steps to be able to get more kids into entrepreneurship, get control of our schools, get more control of even our collective politics, even get more control of just more of going along to get along with each other. Whereas if you're different, I don't have to squash you out or just cancel you out to make my point effective.
Right.
So with that being said, we have to really start to heal in that area, and that's how I think that we can become more healthy. We have to heal in our transitions. Excellent. We have to heal in how we deal with each other. So,
and this is not just Javon, just so I can add an additional comment to that or question. You're saying outside of our race too, not just within the African American community, correct?
No, I'm saying particularly us right now. I'm not dealing with outside the culture. The world has its problems, of course, but I'm just more so dealing with us within our culture and us as Black men. And with that being said, where there's Black men, of course, they're going to be Black women. So, and then we have our offspring and our siblings. So, whatever the case may be, we need to learn how to interact and deal with each other better, so that we can be able to move forward. Some are religious, some aren't. Some are entrepreneurs, some are hard workers, some are let's keep it G. Some are business owners, CEOs, and some are thugs. Some are in the gangs. So we have to learn how to deal with each other in a proper manner that we're not fighting with each other. And that's what I think is going to take initially to get healthy.
Okay. Courtney?
I think that's a great response to internally. Reality is we live in a world that is not only us, so we have to simultaneously be thinking about the outside world as well, and specifically, our Caucasian brothers and sisters that are out there. And I think about like my best friend being a Caucasian man, and this whole George Floyd situation and the unrest and things like that, and having communications with him and other Caucasian folks, just being able to communicate and be able to, because many people that are Caucasian, they're seeing all this stuff happen. They're not participating in it, or they're not racist, but they have to deal with it as well, and there's a lot of pressure. I mean, the pressure is on our neck, but in some ways the pressure is on them also if they're not racist and they don't feel the same way, and they're kind of dealing with that. So it's like, how do you everybody come to the table and communicate and say, okay, how can we all live on this planet? Because there ain't no planet, we can't, there ain't no planet for blacks and the planet's for whites. It's just one planet, right? It's called Earth. So we have to figure out a way to inhabit ourselves with everybody, and nobody's perfect. People make mistakes, and how do we sit down and move forward? Like, we obviously have to look at internally, like our families and the black communities and things that we can do ourselves. But then at some point we have to have those conversations that are very tough, right? You know, because sometimes you might feel a certain way about a certain type of people at certain times. You might not want to talk. You might be frustrated, you know. So we do have to be prepared to have those conversations, because we live in a world with everybody is here, you know.
That's really good feedback. James or Tyrone, TC, whichever one you all want. Okay, Tyrone and then James, and then we're gonna go to DJ Finesse. Let's see if his mic.
Okay, well,
it's sometimes crackling. It's crackling really bad, DJ Finesse. So that's the only reason I don't know what's happening.
I'm in front of City Hall. You see that?
Okay.
They might be sabotaging the signal again.
Wow.
Well,
huh? Watch this. Let me see something. Watch this.
Okay.
There ain't no way in the world there's iPhone. I'm in front of City Hall right now.
Hear me?
Ain't no way in the world this iPhone shouldn't have no good signal with an Xfinity internet Wi-Fi connection. I'm in front of City Hall intentionally, but this work needs to be done here as well. But I don't know. I'm gonna let God.
Okay, hold on.
Is he gonna go?
Give me 1 second.
You stepped outside the car, way better.
For some reason now, I'm in front of this right now.
When you're outside of the car, DJ Finesse, we can hear you actually better. So I'm gonna let Tyrone talk, and then I'm gonna come right back to you next. Okay, go ahead, Tyrone.
Well, I want to start off, Javon. I couldn't hear what you were saying, Javon. But Courtney, I heard you, and you was absolutely right. But I'm stuck with this. They said it's been over 400 years for depression for the African American and the minorities, right? But I'm gonna take you a look closer. It's only been over 50 years that they integrated us, so that's freshly, right? What we continue to see, the injustice and the not equal. What we have to do is get our culture first, and then we can branch off. But at the same time, we still have to educate the white folks and let them know how we feel, and also how they feel for the ones that not racist.
Make that point again, because that's a really good point. Say it again.
Well, like he might have froze.
Wait, you froze. That was such a good point. It froze, so wait a minute. Right in the middle, you're making that point, which is really good point. So whenever it's unsticks.
Y'all got it?
Yeah, you're back. Yep.
You're back now. Say what you just said, Tyrone.
Okay,
because a portion of that was missed.
I said, first and foremost, they said we've been over 400 years of depression of African American minorities, right? But I'm gonna take a look closer to you. We just only been over 50 some years for they integrating us. Well, you don't see white and black bathrooms or white go to the black. We got to go to the back door. That's only been 50 years. So 50 some years. So that's a short window, right? So
that's right.
Now we still have to get our group together. That's first and foremost. But then we got to also, because we ain't the only one living on this world, we got to educate our friends, because I have some great friends that's white, that's not racist, and they confused, just like Courtney said. We have to educate them too and let them know that, hey, we understand. I tell them to go tell their mother, their brother, their sister, their cousin, their friends, and let them know about how they feel about African Americans, and that could close the gap. We can't take it away, tell you the truth. We can put it out there, but we still have to get control over us. Us.
Very good. Very good. That's really great points. James, and then I'm going to go to DJ Finesse. I know you should be able to hear me in the background, DJ Finesse, and so I'm going to come to you next, James, and then DJ Finesse.
Well, like you said, to do it healthy, I think to go back to me is, I think we have to go to a drawing board where we learn ourselves again. I mean, we're too busy learning everybody else's history and everybody else's customs and everybody else's literature, but we're not learning our own. We don't know no Mott. We don't know no Kemet. The stories that we learn, I'm not taking them from them, but where's our stories? Where's our unity? Because it's if there's no roots to the tree, you just got a dead tree. That's all I'm saying. So it's like, to me, we have to put, like you said, DC, get back together as one, learn as one. I'm not knocking other race because we have to live with them. They are our brothers and sisters, but they know where they come from. They know which direction they're going. We don't even know our own spoken language. So I just think we have to get back, because I see, like, within my community, I'm ready to take my son to a suburban school because I don't even want him around the inner city kids. But why should it be like that? Because I don't want him to be learning the wrong stuff. But why is our people learning the wrong stuff? Where did that turn left? So my point, we have to get back to the basics with us.
That's really good. Really good points.
So I mean, there's no way I can say that can be with other people, but it's hard to be with somebody you don't know yourself.
I like to add on to that too.
Let's see.
Yes, go ahead, Javon.
Okay, so definitely, like, with that being said, a lot of us parents right now are dealing with homeschooling. So right now we're just trusting in the system with this COVID situation that's going on. We're trusting with the school system curriculum and their core values to teach our kids, when in all actuality, we have the ability and the opportunity to teach our kids and add on to that curriculum. Like my kids this year, I already told them that they'll be getting a financial curriculum from me, to the best of my knowledge that I've learned so far, as well as they'll be getting a Black education curriculum, which is outside of the school, but it's important, along with what the brothers were just saying. That's just how I'm approaching it. You know, this is a real live solution that all of us parents and or either teachers or caretakers can take on. And this is something that we could teach the kids to be able to do. So I think that that's first key and important, to educate the kids, because let's be honest, we may not see freedom in our lifetime like we fully ideally want. Let's be honest, you know, we may not see all of the results that we are putting in the work for. But however, you know, we know that just like we received benefits from the generations before, that we're working for the generations beyond us as well. So, you know, I think that we just got to relearn, re-educate, rethink things. And then in that way, once we separate our mind frame from what we was taught that was incorrect, then we'll be able to re-educate ourselves. And like, again, I use these words like gently and peacefully, you know, I use those things because, you know, sometimes we can be so harsh towards each other, like we are our own worst enemy. And that right there, that's what has to stop for us to be able to take our first initial steps to healing. So
that's really good points. So sometimes we're so harsh on ourselves that we do our own selves more damage than anybody outside of our culture. That's a great point, Javon. And DJ Finesse, what we're talking about is unity, and yay, it's working. Okay, so but now you're muted, so you have to unmute. I know when you dropping all them lyrics and stuff, you don't be having all these challenges. You like, look here, what is this mess going on the internet? No, you're muted.
Javon, y'all can hear me now?
Yes.
Now watch this. Hey, Jay, we AV, you know we know how to work this kind of stuff.
Yeah,
look,
you know,
this phone too. I gotta work two phones.
We're gonna come up with a solution
to get the one
this is what we do.
Situation.
But go ahead.
I'm to work it now.
What is your point, DJ Finesse? Feel free to. We're talking about unity and how important it is to have unity. Javon talked about it from the perspective of within our culture. But whatever your comments are, please feel free to share it as well.
Let's get in China mode. I see every major city got a Chinatown. We got our own community. We're just not maximizing on our communities. We don't own anything. We always sell short. I seen something about the Nike deal when Nike first started jumping, and I forgot the individual name. They offered him 10% of the company on $100,000. He took the $100,000, naive, not understanding that he would have been a billionaire had he just held on. And we as the people need to understand how to not just get some things. We know how to get stuff. We don't know how to keep it. We need to learn how to keep our things and not look for the instant gratification. The long haul.
Very good point. So not own stuff and then just give your wealth out in any kind of.
Look at BET. Look at Motown. Look at Def Jam. You know, as soon as we get it, somebody offer us a certain amount of money or put a little muscle on us, and we don't stick together and get caught up, and then before you know it, BET ain't owned by BET no more.
Wow.
Everything else except to be in front of ET.
Outstanding. Now, Courtney? Outstanding, DJ Finesse. Go ahead, Courtney.
Yeah, I was just going to say.
Mute your mic.
You good here? Is this? I got you on 3 different phones.
Okay, good. Go ahead, Courtney.
What's going on with the technology around here? Right there.
Okay, I won't even say
what. They even closed the gates. Look. Watch this. Well, look, I want to show y'all.
Look at TC. TC ready.
They won't even let me in. Look. They said I got to go around.
Like, Kim, all I was going to say is, like, to me, it's so interesting because all the things that everyone is saying, we talked about curriculum. He talked about ownership. Somebody talked about Finesse just talked about you know, Motown Records and Nike and money. It's
frozen, Courtney. You gotta make the point again. It's freezing.
I said it's interesting
one more
to
time.
me. Finesse, can you mute your line?
I'm trying to.
Okay, I'm hearing static. There you go. The static went away. Thank you. It's interesting, all the things that everyone has just said. Somebody talked about curriculum. Somebody talked about having ownership. Finesse just talked about, you know, business, you know, Nike and understanding money. It's all, and TC mentioned it's only been 50 plus years, but it's all systematic. Everything is systematic. Everything is based on oppressing and keeping you uneducated and unaware, so that whenever and then our placement, like James, he said it. He said, I'm thinking about going to a suburban school because I don't want, you know, it's all systematic, you know. So we do have to take care of our own community, but there's a system, you know, there's policies, there's written laws. You know, when you talk about the police, like, who is writing these laws? Who is making this stuff? It's not people that look like us. So we have to sit at the table with those people to change these policies and these procedures to change the system. Like, obviously we have to, amongst ourselves, we have to say, okay, the system has allowed for us to feel this way about each other, upset and rage, and because we've been oppressed, we've not had anything. When you don't have nothing, you fight for something. If you're trying to live, you're trying to survive. But we have to fight against that and say, okay, how do we really make change? And it's all system. Like, you don't change nothing by going, like, a protest is nice. You get people rallied up and they're excited and they're ready to take on the world. But if you don't change it on paper and pen, or, you know, pen and pad, it's going to just continue to happen, you know? So it's like, we have to be able to go in the rooms where these laws are being written and these policies are happening, and making sure that we have representation there so that we can change it on paper. But that's going to be the only way it's going to change.
Well, let me go. This is great conversation and dialogue. Thank you, Javon, for spearheading this. Let me go to a few audience comments, and somebody can tackle any of them if they'd like to be able to address these issues. Even Phil Knight doesn't own his logo. He created Peak Game. So Sean Hall is saying it's about the long game, and too many of us are short-sighted and only about ourselves. Anybody want to tackle any of this? You're welcome to. And let me. She said, "Okay,
Thank
go
you,
ahead."
Sean, for those comments. Thank you, Sean, for those comments, and I definitely will address that. I have a theory all the way from the streets all the way to corporate. Exactly what Sean said. We are too short-sighted. We can't see ourselves receiving the victory long haul. And with that being said, it's just like we have to reconstruct our thinking that we are the victors. It's not just one Rosewood or Greenwood. It's not just one or two Michael Jordans or LeBron James. If we really stop harming ourselves, we'll find out that we have talent within our community that will exceed Michael Jordan, exceed these current people. But our numbers are so low because we have such a self-hate, system to hate reflectory to ourselves that we have to reconstruct that thinking. And so with that being said, and also I just want to say this real quick while it's on my mind, what Courtney said to me made me think about the crab in the barrel ideology. And that's terrible in our community, as well as it's not just exclusive to us, but it's our culture, but it's very terrible here. So we have to change all of that to be able to reconstruct ourselves, to be able to heal. Once again, I'm gonna keep saying the same theme because we have to heal, and that's where it starts. It starts there, along with all of these other gentlemen saying these final points that we have to heal, and that's where we're starting there. Along with thank you, Sean, again for that comment.
Anybody else wanted to comment on that? TC, go ahead, TC.
Well, Sean, first off, I would like to thank you for coming on and joining us. That's a great question. To me, Javon, you said victim. I really don't like that term victim because at the end of the day, we know they ain't giving us nothing. So why we wait for them to give us something? Why we ain't going out there getting it ourselves? Stop looking for people to put it on your lap. We got to go out there. And for our community, we not together. Everybody want to be on, one person want to be the king. But I was always taught the king also produced everybody else to make them better. And that's how we could get better in our community. Everybody want to get there. They want to keep it to themselves. They don't want to share. And that's what we lack in the African-American community. Everybody talk about change, but nobody really want to go out there and do the work. They're looking for somebody else to do it. We all got to join forces and put our nuggets together. Just like we all got pieces to the puzzle, right? Let's bring all our pieces together and connect the dots and complete that puzzle. That puzzle is we trying to get back what we deserve. They say we free. I don't feel free. They say we equal. I don't feel equal. So while we keep on listening to that and we seeing it, let's do some work about it. Let's get proactive. Let's talk about a plan. Let's do something. And it's not a track meet. It's a marathon. 400 years? I just told y'all it's only been over 50 years, so it's still a short period of time. We still got work to be done. But what we have in our community is we got people that we put in places that sell us out. Because guess what? They could be bought. Anytime you got money and they could buy you with money, they call that hush hush. But when we going to get away from the money and worry about our people and we'll see a difference? That's how I see it.
Outstanding. Okay, you want me to go? I want to go to another audience comment. And you know what? It's one thing else that Sean said is not about.
But I want to say one quick thing on that.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, man, we keep talking about money and how we gonna reconstruct the community, but can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, money situation, how we keep talking about we got to get money in our community. But what I was trying to say is, a lot of my peoples put money.
It's not.
They not love people for money. So.
No, you know what, James?
Oh, you can't hear me?
No. Wait a minute. Let me hear you now. Try it again. No. Okay, we'll come back to you though, for sure. Let me go to another audience comment. Katrina says, if you can't heal and build your own house, how do you expect to heal and build foundations for others? Anybody want to tackle any of these comments? You're welcome to. Very powerful show. My hat's off to you gentlemen for tackling these subjects. Shannon said.
Am I still got this with the volume?
Who speaks?
Okay,
go ahead, DJ Finesse.
Can you guys hear me? Am I still kind of off?
Yeah, we can't hear you. Say it again, DJ Finesse.
No, I'm trying to work.
Oh no, it's just a trick of the enemy to prevent you from being able to say these things. But Sean said it's never about the crabs in the barrel, but recognize who made the barrel and what is in the barrel. That's important.
And that's the system that she's talking about. It's you know, understand the system and then create our own system, you know. And then, like TC said, he has friends that aren't racist. We all probably do. Some of those people are in political position. So we need to exercise those relationships so that we can change that barrel. And it's not about the crabs, it's about the barrel. The barrel is the system.
Exactly. And I agree with that, you know, wholeheartedly. And with that being said, but one thing TC said earlier about the victim, and I wanted to clear that up with us being in the barrel. We can't ignore us being in the barrel as well. And that's what I'm talking about, those that are in the barrel. The system is the system. It's been there for 400 plus years. It's set in place to go for 1,000 years. From everything that we read is set in place for another 500 years. Okay. So we can't avoid that. But however, with the points that's being made here, Courtney made a great point. We just have to re-educate ourselves and create our own. TC saying the same thing. We have to create our own. James is living that. I'm living that. Finesse is living that. We're all entrepreneurs. Courtney is an entrepreneur as well. TC is an entrepreneur. We're doing multiple ventures and venues that we can make our impact at. So with that being said, others can replicate what we're doing, and they can find a way for a solution by this, because now my daughter is 17 years old with a business. James is teaching his kid certain things that'll lead his kid into entrepreneurship and business. Courtney doing the same. And, you know, all of us up here. Type TC, you saw his youngest son of 5, and he's teaching all of his kids that. They're watching him, they're leading examples. Finesse, he's a great father at home. So, you know, we're doing these things that's impactful to the community. But however, we have to figure out as a whole within our community how to, if we are in the fire pit, then how can we get out of the fire pit collectively? And it's not about other cultures right now. And I'm gonna keep harping on that. It's not about other petty things that's trivial. It's about our race right now, and collectively we're hurting, and we're being under attack by the world. And in reverse, the world is showing more love than we expected, I believe. So that we have to figure out, how are we going to put things in place? How are we going to adapt some of the things that they're doing up in Minneapolis with TC and these guys? Some of my fraternity brothers, some of my closest friends up there in Minneapolis. How are we going to replicate that here in Charlotte? How are we going to send that to Pittsburgh where Courtney's at? How are we going to send that to Virginia, Atlanta where Finesse is at? So that's what's more important right now to me. You know, it's just more importantly that we really heal each other, relearn, rethink, and more importantly, apply the action.
Now, boy,
you came up there twice.
Hey, James.
We're gonna get DJ Finesse. Yeah. This is really good. James, you made a point too earlier. I want to make sure we get to hear that point. So if you can unmute your mic and make your point again, please.
Can y'all hear me now?
outside of being frustrated with whatever's happening in the world, we just be frustrated right on the episode of the show. You'd be like, look here. I'm just, the redemption is I just need this internet to work. Oh my gosh. Go ahead. So, dog, I'm trying to help the black man, and now the show is just aggravating the black man. It's like you done brought out the. Okay, go ahead, James. Go ahead, James.
Y'all can hear me. Everything's go.
Yeah.
We can hear you.
So basically, I was just saying earlier that you talking about money, but a lot of my people around me worship money more than they value people. So we have to implement that in, but we start loving each other more than we love money. And maybe we won't do certain things when it comes to money, like kill each other or rob each other or, just having negative thoughts towards each other, because I don't even know where's a black bank at. I know it's one in Texas. Everybody talking about to do with the black dollar, but where do we take the black dollars? What are we going to do with them? If we're going to keep them within the black community, we have to know where to take them.
That's really good.
So
I mean,
that's the
That's really good. Thank you for those comments. And so identifying where to be able to take your money that you want to go and support your own, if that's your choice, then is there some type of a listing? And I know Sean and different people that are on here watching today may be able to share where are some of the sites. Courtney, of some different sites where people can actually go and use their money to contribute to Black-owned situations, is what I'm hearing James say. So this is really good. Tyrone, you have a comment?
Well, I want to kitty back with you, James. That you made a great point when you said the money, the dollars that's in the community. Well, I want you to understand something. African Americans only getting 3% of the money from the bank. So that's right there. We need to close that gap on that, because we can't get the money from the bank. We can't go get a loan. I always, when I'm doing my protests now, by me playing, being on a professional level and being in Minnesota in college and in pros, I realized something. As an African American, we can't go to the banks because number one, we got a low interest rate. I'm gonna say a high. We got a high. Our number, our score is so freaking low that we're gonna pay a high interest rate for the loans. And then when we go get a house, we got to put so much money down, the money we done saved up, to put there to get it. And then we ain't got enough money to keep it. So if we get a job to try to make for that, we working for week to week. Ain't that's the African American community that working on for week to week? That hasn't changed, right? So how we gonna get that? Well, first we got to get our own bank, and we got to control our own money too, by having what? Black-owned businesses in our community, where the money is circulating still in the community. But if you look at the African American community, you got Arabs in there that own every store over there. We ain't got our own stuff. How Arab could come in here from another country and they own more money than we? They got more stuff than us. How? That don't make no sense. Now that's the thing that we really got to stop, because we got dollars in the inner city. We have money, but guess what? We doing it. We keeping it to ourselves. We're not spreading it. They getting financial money to help our kids in the community. But guess what? The people that getting the money, they not helping our kids. They not using that money they getting. Wow. All the government funding money, what they doing? Look at it. I could use Minnesota for example. In 3 months, Black Lives Matter got 32 million. The gay and lesbian community, they got 40 million in 3 months. But guess what? Our kids been home since the coronavirus. Most of the kids in the inner city, they didn't get no supplies for iPads to teaching, none of that at all. So how our kids getting better? They know that. We know that. We got to do something about it, because they got the money to cover the gap. We got to make sure our kids not suffering. How we suffering as adults? Yeah, we supposed to, for our kids not to suffer. We don't see that. And that's why I can say, James, I understand what you mean by the money in the banks. We don't have it. We only getting 3% of the bank loans as it is right now. But look at the population of an African American in this country. It's only 17%. How is it 17%? But when they talk about something, African Americans is top of everything. Get out of here. Them numbers is screwed. Just like they talk about the COVID-19. How? It don't make no sense to me. But we know that. That's why I say, Javon, victim Man, listen, we know that already. Put that shit out to the door. What we gonna do now? I don't want to play the victim. I know you done did wrong to me, so now I got to do something better. I can't be playing no victim, man. I don't like that. That's just me. I know it's there. I want to work to do something else about it. I ain't finna say, hey, man, victim, now I'm feeling sorry for myself. Heck with that. Let's move. Let's do something. So that's the main thing is the bank.
I feel compelled to let you know I'm with you on that 100%.
I know you will.
I'm with you 100%. Ain't no victims out here.
I'm gonna let DJ Finesse say something, and right before you get ready to unmute your mic, DJ Finesse, let me let you guys know that we do have a Patreon membership page, and it's over here in the link. So make sure you know you can subscribe to the Kim Jacobs Show on YouTube. Make sure you turn on your notifications so when we go live, you already know that the show is on the air. But then also we have a Patreon member only page, and what each of my guests do. So guys, after we're finished here, I need you all to go stay on backstage for a minute, because it's some stuff that you'll do just for the Patreon members, because there's all kinds of comments here and we don't get a chance to address everything in the 1 hour time frame. We will come back with a part 3, and part 3 is going to be also focusing on how the redemption of the Black man happens with the inclusion of the Black woman. So that's part of what we're going to talk about on part 3, and lots of other things that we still didn't get a chance to cover. Javon had done a whole litany of questions and stuff in preparation for the panel discussions, but part 3 is going to be including the Black woman in the plan of the Black man's redemption. So let me see with the final. It's more comments and questions. If you haven't subscribed to Patreon, go to patreon.com, and it's / The Kim Jacobs Show. It's a membership. It's exclusive content on there that does not get put here. So make sure you subscribe to there as well. I'll just go through and quickly share. Diane Forte said, good morning. Our history is not taught in the schools to our children who attends. That needs to be a part of the curriculum. People are shouting out your comment, James, that you made as well. And Mother Patricia Lofton is she is the state supervisor of women. So I know for part 3, she'll encourage some women to get on too. And that's going to be, she's over like 95 churches in the women's department of the Church of God in Christ. And so part 3, Mother Lofton. And disregard that one cuss when I don't know how to bleep it out, but TC said a word on here. So mother, just bless him with your oil. I'm not even
bless him, mother. He was in the spirit. He was in the spirit.
In the spirit over there, mother. I ain't even gonna tell you. I'm just trying to make lighthearted here. I know y'all, when things get
it be like that sometimes.
Tell us real quick about your shirt too.
It's all good.
Oh, you know what?
I'm sorry. I tell them I was raised by my grandma and mama, and every word that came out was a cuss word. So I'm working on it.
Well, actually, you know what? When we go backstage, we're going to talk more about more things that's for the Patreon members. So make sure you guys subscribe, patreon.com / The Kim Jacobs Show, and you're going to hear even more details from these gentlemen beyond. It's the after party. It's the after party of the Kim Jacobs Show. Let's see. It's all kind of comments, guys. I see a really long one here. I can't even hardly. I was fortunate to find Black schools in New York that I sent my son to. It opened my eyes to the Black American struggle, African American history, and mass. And these schools had programs with enriching the minds and kept him there until workday ended. Shout out to Johnson Prep and Cush Campus. And it's a whole bunch of different people that she's giving shout outs to. That's Allison. Okay, it's a lot of different comments that's coming in. We're going to continue this discussion. He's being passionate. That's what TCU just being passionate. That's what they're saying. Oliver said, sign me up. Yes, you got to go over and sign yourself up, Oliver. That's patreon.com / The Kim Jacobs Show. And it was another comment in here. Oliver said, I'm a Black man from New York. I live in Roxborough. This town is between times so bad. If a Black business comes to our town, white people quickly knock us down. Then when people do go for a job, they look at the past. Everybody needs to change. Okay, everybody needs to change. And then Allison said our votes count because it helps us change policies. that can benefit us and our community. Okay, so lots more comments. Go over to Patreon. We're going to continue the conversation. DJ Finesse, let me give you a chance. Hopefully, yes, say something, DJ Finesse. And remember, gentlemen, stay backstage because we got to do something for my Patreon members. Go ahead, DJ.
You see, I got some headphones that's good. You on 3 different lines. You see what's in front of me now, don't you? See that squad car? Hey, man, I got my glasses on. I hear everything y'all saying, right? It's about solution, man. Let's come together with it. Pardon me. Hopefully the AP will be better next time. You ain't gonna run me off. I'm still gonna be here. I got an international platform and I'm bringing it. And we gonna do something different. Hey, TC, I'm with you. What you say? I ain't asking for nothing, man. I don't want to take nothing, but give me an opportunity to earn something. I don't mind working, and I don't mind putting my people to work. But give us a job, give us an opportunity, give us some grants, give us some loans. What you say, 3% TC? Come on, what we gonna do with that in the country? You don't want to around you. Let us go ahead and rebuild our home.
Well, let me tell you guys this, because this is important for everybody that's watching. When we go backstage, I'm actually going to record a component of what we're doing. And so what gets uploaded, you'll be able to hear DJ Finesse a lot more clearly. And so DJ Finesse, we're going to pop backstage, and then it won't even be through the connection of the internet on whatever end is happening. But we're going to have some exclusive content for our Patreon members. So thank you all for tuning in to today's episode. You all are a tremendous panel. Let me mute the mic for you. Okay. I muted your mic, DJ, so I can stop asking you the whole show. I'm like, oh, I could have did that. I could have done that for him. I know Courtney's like, dang, Kim, you figured that out at the end. So you live and you learn, huh? This is, first of all, it's been a pleasure having you all on today's episode. Make sure you know too that you can go over to the Patreon membership page and join in further on our discussion. All right. Every day, Monday through Friday, is Quest Church Prayer Line. And today my episode went a little longer, but every day, Monday through Friday, you can actually tune in and hear Pastor Jacobs actually pray for COVID-19 situations, people that are impacted. We have family members, friends, that people need prayer during this time. So keep knowing that you can be a part of that prayer line. Jeremiah, I need you to put that in as well. So as we close out, is there any one final comment before we go backstage for our members only that either of you want to say? And we're going to go ahead and close out. Javon?
I'll go ahead and close it out. Just once again, thank all you gentlemen for coming on the show again. Look forward to seeing you guys in the next panel, and Kim, thank you for having us. And furthermore, just for the audience, and the people that's interested in this, I believe that, we can start from here. We see that like we all are generating this conversation right now. It's on the table. We see that we have to change. We see that we have to make some necessary steps to make us better. So with that being said, let's just keep moving forward so that we could actually make this a reality instead of just a chatting process or a talk at point. Let's make it a reality. So in the next decade or so that we'll see ourselves in a better predicament, not just driving Benzes and Beamers, but actually owning them right off the gate and can afford them. Let's see ourselves with some Black distribution. Let's see ourselves with mental health facilities out here that people can deal with their PTSD from their situations. Let's have Black entrepreneurship. I said I was going to mention this later in the show. Like I said, kingsmind and queensmind.com, as well as
Kingsmind.
Well, the website is kingsandqueensmind.com. But however, I got Uplift.
Type it in the private chat, Jay, and we'll put it up.
Okay, will do. I also have Uplift tees. So what my point is that I'm making is we have enough clothing out here. We have enough entrepreneurs that we can wear our own gear now. We don't have to keep going subscribing to what we call this designer clothing that gives two cares about us. So now we have to really find ourselves in the position to actually spend the dollars within our community as well as en route to the banks, the previous black banks that are out there right now. They can maybe facilitate better institutes, but within the community, such as this, such as all the way down to the labor factors and stuff like that, we can also do so much better within the community. And that's
Okay.
my point.
Thank you, Javon. Put those websites in there, and then also we're going to go backstage shortly. DJ Finesse, let me unmute you. And what is your closing comment for the audience today?
Can y'all hear me? Y'all can hear me? Can you hear me?
A little bit. I mean, not that great. I don't know.
I got one thing to say before we tune off. Free DJ Finesse. Free DJ Finesse.
I'm missing it. I don't know what's happening. Say it one more time.
You can hear me? I said free DJ Finesse. Let them free.
Y'all are laughing hard, and I have no clue what y'all said, so that's even worse because I'm not a good faker. So I'm like,
He talking about his
Everybody
AV.
put
His
a hand
AV
up.
is arrested right now. He say free
what?
DJ
Wait.
Finesse.
I gotta understand.
He's referring to his AV right now. He say free DJ Finesse. So he's just referring to we got you next show. You're gonna be good and stabilized.
Okay. Yeah, DJ Finesse. He's like messing up his image around here. He know he got the best technology. He got the best headphones. He's sitting over there in front of camera. He's like, what in the world? What's going on?
It's in front of. I can tell you what it is. Because he's in front of city council. There's so much Bluetooth and different things going on around there that is interfering. So yeah.
Poor thing.
Anyway, we'll have it wrapped up for the next one.
Okay, yeah, you're trying to get some good B-roll, but then they blocking you out is what you say. Okay, anyway, James, your closing comment. We gotta get ready to go backstage. You have a closing comment? Okay. If not, Tyrone, your closing comment. Or you can save it for backstage. If you guys want to just pop backstage and we get ready to start doing the stuff for the Patreon members, that's fine too.
Okay.
Tyrone?
Okay, I just want to let my son close because he done watched all this. He done seen Kings talk. That's one thing I want him to understand. Other guys that's talking, other fathers doing the same thing I'm doing. And I want him to say something, what he thought about it. Go ahead.
I think it was good. I thank you guys for watching this live broadcast to get some information about how we feel so you guys can know how we feel. Peace out.
Peace out. Peace out to you. Okay. Peace out. Courtney, did you want to say?
I see y'all in the backstage because I don't want to put no more soap in my mouth.
But backstage, we hit the after party and we're gonna go in and have some further discussion. Go ahead, Courtney, closing comment.
No, just thanks for being able to be a part of this, Jay and Kim. I just, I missed it last week. Last week I had some technical difficulties, probably like DJ Finesse. But I actually upgraded my internet. I followed Jay was like, go ahead and upgrade that internet. So I'll just upgrade it. So hopefully, but I just appreciate the opportunity.
Now.
Appreciate the opportunity to be here. Yep.
Thank you. Yeah, Courtney said I upgraded my internet. I ain't getting glitched out. James, you want to say anything? Okay. So we're gonna.
All I can say is, man, like I told y'all,
it's freezing. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna pop backstage, continue our discussion, and it won't be any glitching because all I'm doing is actually recording what we say. And I am so grateful that you guys tuned into today's episode. I didn't even get to play my theme song, so I will play it as we get ready to go out. And then everybody stay backstage. See you guys tomorrow at 11 o'clock a.m. here on the Kim Jacobs Show.